Welcome back to Beyond the Buzz, where Lucifer's dominion stretches its shadow worldwide. I'm BJ Southwell, and tonight we continue Season 5, Lucifer's Reign. In the wake of the first word, humanity's last glimmers of hope threaten to ignite rebellion. But Lucifer does not rule unchallenged. His loyal demon Malphus, the grand architect of treachery, steps onto the stage, weaving chaos into the fabric of defiance. Join me for Episode 2, The Chains of Allegiance, where rebellion is fragile and betrayal lurks in every shadow. Lucifer leaned forward on his obsidian throne, his fingers trailing through the shimmering pool of fire that reflected the Resistance's actions deep within the catacombs of Rome. His lips twisted into a sharp smile as he observed Father Angelo and the others holding the fragment of the Chains of Allegiance. "Faith," he said, the word dripping with contempt. "Even in the ruins of their belief, they reach for it like drowning men clutching at straws." Behind him, a shadow coalesced, shifting and writhing until it took the form of Malphus, the demon of betrayal. His bird-like features shimmered with malevolence, his feathers dark and slick as if dipped in oil. His voice was a blend of grating whispers and mocking laughter when he spoke. "They believe they can fight you, my lord," Malphus said, his talons clicking against the floor as he stepped closer. "Let me unravel their fragile unity. Their trust is a thread. All it needs is a single pull." Lucifer turned to his servant, his golden eyes narrowing. "Do not underestimate them, Malphus. Desperation is a powerful weapon, but go. Infiltrate their little band of fools and remind them that even in rebellion, trust is an illusion." Malphus bowed low, his form dissolving into a cloud of crows that scattered into the darkness. Father Angelo Rossi felt the chain fragment grow warmer in his palm as he led the survivors deeper into the labyrinthine catacombs. Each step echoed in the suffocating silence, broken only by the occasional whispered prayer or the scrape of boots on stone. "I don't like this," Matteo muttered, his eyes darting nervously at the shadows that seemed to move of their own accord. "Stay focused," Caterina snapped, her blade glinting faintly in the torchlight. "We have no choice but to press on." From behind, a figure approached. His face was sharp and unfamiliar, his dark eyes gleaming in the dim light. He wore the tattered robes of a priest and carried himself with an air of quiet confidence. "I heard whispers of your journey," the man said, his voice smooth and calming. "I am Brother Elias, a wanderer seeking the light in these dark times." Caterina exchanged a wary glance with Angelo. "What brings you here, Elias?" "The same thing that brings you," Elias replied, stepping closer and placing a hand on his chest. "To fight against the darkness, to restore what has been lost." The chain fragment in Angelo's hand grew hotter, and he instinctively clenched his fist around it. "You've heard of the Chains of Allegiance?" Elias smiled faintly. "Who hasn't? It's said they can bind even the greatest of evils. If you've found a piece, you must keep going. Time is not on your side." Caterina nodded reluctantly. "Then you'd better keep up." High above, Lucifer watched their progress through the flames, his smile sharpening. He leaned back, his golden eyes glinting with anticipation. "They will trust him," he mused. "And when they do, he will destroy them," Beelzebub growled from his place beside the throne. "Precisely," Lucifer replied, a chuckle rumbling deep in his chest. The group pressed forward, their torches casting flickering light over ancient walls, etched with symbols too worn to decipher. Angelo couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The air felt heavier, and the shadows pressed closer as if watching. "Stop," Angelo said, holding up a hand. "What is it?" Caterina asked. Before Angelo could answer, the shadows surged forward, twisting into grotesque shapes. From their depths stepped the emissary, his skeletal form shrouded in a dark cloak. Lucifer sends his regards, the emissary hissed. Beside him, the shadows rippled again, and Malthus emerged, his bird-like visage flickering with a sinister grin. "You've come so far," Malthus crooned, his voice a mix of silk and venom. "But tell me, Father, how well do you know your companions?" Angelo's grip tightened on the chain fragment as the group braced themselves for the attack. Malthus moved with fluid grace, circling the group like a predator. "Trust," Malthus whispered, his voice echoing unnaturally. "It binds you as surely as these chains you seek. But trust is a fragile thing." The emissary lunged, his claws slicing through the air, and chaos erupted. Katerina fought fiercely, her blade flashing as she struck at the creatures that swarmed around them. Angelo raised the chain fragment, its light blazing against the encroaching darkness. In the fray, Elias moved with uncanny precision, guiding survivors and striking at the creatures with brutal efficiency. But as the light from the chain pushed the shadows back, Angelo caught a flicker in Elias's expression, a momentary smile, cold and cruel. The battle ended as suddenly as it began. The creatures dissolved into nothingness, and the emissary's form flickered before vanishing into the dark. Malthus lingered, his form half substantial, his laughter echoing as he disappeared. "See you soon," he whispered. As the survivors regrouped, Angelo's gaze settled on Elias. The man stood calmly, his robes unmarked by the battle, his expression unreadable. "Who are you?" Angelo asked, his voice sharp. Elias met his gaze evenly. "A friend," he said, his smile faint. "But you'll have to decide whether to trust me." Angelo's hand tightened around the chain fragment. The warmth it once held was gone, replaced by an unsettling cold. Lucifer stood, his golden eyes blazing with triumph. "Let them play their game of hope," he said. "When the time is right, they will tear themselves apart. Malphas will ensure it." Beelzebub grinned. "And when they fall?" Lucifer's smile turned cruel. "We will be there to watch." The chains of allegiance glimmer with possibility, but treachery seeps into the Resistance's ranks. Can humanity hold together as Lucifer's grip tightens, or will Malthus's whispers shatter their fragile unity? Join me next time on Beyond the Buzz for Episode 3, The Whispers of Rebellion, as the battle between defiance and despair deepens. Until then, remember, trust is the strongest chain and the easiest to break.